Simo Häyhä, 100 days, 505 confirmed sniper kills, plus over 200 submachine gun kills in close combat. Man, all in all, Simo Häyhä basically unalived the entire population of the Vatican in 100 days. And yes, I fact-checked that. Oh, and before we tell the story, please.
Don't try this at home.
December 17th, 1905, Rautjärvi, Finland. Simo Häyhä is born here in a town near the Finnish-Russian border. And you know what that means.
Mine.
But that was not a worry for young Simo just yet. Before he was a soldier, he was a kid growing up with 7 siblings in a working-class family that were farmers by day and hunters by night, meaning Simo shot his first rifle the moment he could hold one, and by the time he was a teenager, he was the best hunter in his family, shooting birds and squirrels from 150 feet, no scope. And it's good that he was deadly with a rifle too, because the man was a serious short king, 5'3", that's 160 centimeters. For context, that's the same height as this dude. But there's one occupation where the inbuilt lack of visibility of short kings is useful. Being a sniper. Can't hit what you can't see. So Simo joined the civil guard of Finland to be a sniper. At the time, Finland was at peace, so the most exciting thing going on was either drinking vodka or going to the sauna. Or both. I don't even know if that's true. I'm stereotyping, so feel free to also insult me in the comments with stereotypes. But if it is true, that genuinely sounds like a good time, and I would love to be invited if I have any Finnish audience here. That's a beautiful stereotype. Not for 19-year-old Simo, though. His idea of fun was going out into the snow and shooting tin cans while mastering his breathing. He realized that if he stuffs snow in his mouth, a potential enemy cannot see his breath. And if he places a pile of hardened snow in front of the muzzle, just under the shot, it will absorb the big white cloud of loose snow puff the bullet would otherwise leave behind, meaning there would be no way for the bad guys to spot him. Sounds great in theory, but the only thing missing were the bad guys. Enter Russia. Remember, we're ticking off all of the stereotypes in this one. To be precise, Russia entered Finland without an invitation on November 30th, 1939. The Soviet Union invaded to start what is now known as the Winter War. 1 million Soviet soldiers, tanks, bombers, and heavy artillery pouring into Finland to take the country from its 400,000 fighting men. It was supposed to be a blowout victory. Finland was supposed to fall in 2 weeks. 3 months later, Simo Häyhä had killed over 700 Russians. The day Russia came into Finland, 34-year-old Simo picked up his rifle and deployed into battle in temperatures of minus 40 degrees and waist-high snow. Or neck high in Simo's case. Simo wore all white everything and blended into the snow like Charlie Sheen on his birthdays, shooting everything in sight. Also like Charlie Sheen on his birthdays. The Russians didn't even know where the shots that took their lives were coming from because it was impossible to spot Simo, small Simo, in all white lying in the snow, using his techniques to make sure neither breath nor bullet puff is ever visible, and on top of that, he shot his rifle without a scope, so there isn't even a reflection to spot. Do that for 10 hours every day for 100 days, and that's how you get 505 confirmed sniper kills. And when the enemy did somehow close in on his position or spotted Simo while he was relocating, Simo took down over 200 of them in close combat with a submachine gun. So before long, Simo became known to the Russians as Bielej Śmierć, which translates to the White Death, which ironically is also the usual theme name of Charlie Sheen's birthday parties. The Soviet army feared him like some mythical figure because no one ever really saw Simo. All they ever found were dead, frozen bodies in the White Death's kill zones, and no one was ever left alive to actually confirm Simo exists. It got to the point that Russian soldiers were terrified to enter the forests, and their commanders had to lie and say that Simo had been defeated or that he does not exist, just to get their men into these forests, and only for more of them to end up with a hole in their face. Eventually, the Soviet army got desperate and decided to deploy their own teams of elite snipers to find and hunt down Simo. But Simo, he outsniped them all, so the Soviets were forced to fall back on what I used to do in Call of Duty when my aim was doo-doo. They called in airstrikes, full-on artillery on all of his last known positions, full-on artillery for just one man. And they missed. It didn't work. The Soviets They couldn't take down Simo and they were running out of options. But then, on March 6th, a Soviet soldier took it upon himself to hunt Simo down, found him, fired an explosive round at him, and hit Simo in the jaw, detonating half of his face and ending the legend of the White Death. And of course, that Soviet man was none other than the infamous... I'm just kidding, man. It was some random soldier that shot Simo. Like when a main character gets taken down by a random NPC. In fact, this guy didn't even spot Simo, nor did he intend to shoot at Simo. There was a big, messy battle. Simo was sniping, taking out targets from a distance as usual, and some random stray explosive bullet just happened to blow half of his face off. A 1 in a billion lucky shot by some random soldier became the Soviets' greatest accomplishment in that war. The White Death was down, with his face half gone. And yet, somehow, Simo survived that shot. Barely, but he survived, was taken to the hospital and underwent several surgeries to reconstruct his jaw and to do whatever 1940 plastic surgery could do to restore what was left of his face. Simo regained consciousness 7 days after he was shot on March 13th, but he had mostly lost his ability to speak and he was permanently disfigured. And yet, his sacrifice was not in vain. The White Death had accomplished his mission. The day he regained consciousness was the day that peace was declared. Finland had held off the Russian invasion and maintained its independence. And for his efforts in the war, their hero Simo was rewarded with the Cross of Liberty and the Medal of Liberty. But he didn't care about any of that, man. Simo, he just retired to a small town not far from where he grew up and lived a quiet life as a hunter and a dog breeder, alone, unmarried, without kids, barely ever speaking about the war. And in fact, one of his few quotes regarding his heroics is telling of the man he was. I did what I was told as well as I could. And then, on April 1st in 2002, at age 19.6, Simo moved on from this world. And to this day, no sniper has ever even come close to breaking his record of 505 confirmed sniper kills, not even counting the over 200 submachine gun kills, all of which Simo accomplished in just 100 days in minus 40 degrees with no scope.